people? Spoke Riders here, and here I am. I made it. One more year, 2020. I know I'm kind of late starting this video. I haven't posted a video in 2020 yet, but this is going to be my first series of videos in 2020. Before I jump into that, just let me start off and thank all my subscribers. I'm thankful for every subscriber I got, and thanks for sticking in there with me. I know 2019 I didn't post a lot of car and motorcycle related videos because really I was just focused on other stuff. I posted a few like little product reviews and little vlogs here and there, but I tried to work on this garage, but I don't know. It is what it is, people. I'm not going to sit here and say the whole corny new year, new me thing, because that's just not the case. My plan is what it's been the plan I set years ago, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, is just to only chase the things that make me happy. Only focus on the things that make me happy, and just try to set little small goals and just accomplish them goals, you know? In 2020, I am starting to get an itch for messing with these cars and jumping back into these car projects. I decided this time I want to try to do things a little bit differently. Rather than just go so hard at it every day, try to work on cars, this and that, I decided just to scratch that and see how far it gets me going 2 days a week. Maybe another day on the weekend and maybe one day during the week. Work on these car projects and try to get them advanced, try to get them up there, try to get the car back on the road. The main car I really want to focus on is my ElCamino. My 1977 ElCamino is kind of special to me for multiple reasons. So I really want to, have a lot of sentimental attachment to that car, personally. One, because it's a 77 ElCamino. 77 is the year I was born. The car, even though I'm probably not going to keep it this color, the car is pretty much the color of my very first car I had back in the day, back in the early 90s, which was a two-tone brown and tan Blazer. So I just give you a brief little history on the car. But what you're about to see is the start of me trying to tear down this Chevy 350 small block carb motor. For years, I think for the last like 5 years, I told myself in my mind, you know, I'm done with carb motors. I'm not gonna mess with a carb motor. I done did so many 350s in my lifetime. I was kind of over it. But I really got to thinking about all the 350 motors I've done in the past were all like pretty much rush jobs. I pulled the motor out, took us, had a guy, somebody build it. I'm in a big hurry because I ain't got no transportation. I need to get this motor going, or I'm just putting little pieces here, putting little pieces there. I never really got to do it. I never really got to do a 350 the way I wanted to do it because I was always in a rush. I was always in a hurry. Now I figure, well, I'm in a unique situation. Why not do it one more time? But this time, just take my time, do things the right way, get all the parts I've always ever wanted for a 350, but I never got before because I was too big in a rush and didn't want to wait on them. And just do it, you know, bust this 350 down and build it my way. It's kind of ironic because the motor, after I ran the numbers in the motor is the original motor for my ElCamino, and it's a 77 motor also, so hey, it's like it's meant to be. And what the plan is right now, there's no really, the one thing I will say for sure that I'm not really trying to race this motor. I'm not building a drag racing motor. I want to build a motor I can put some miles on. You know, I want a fast motor. I want it to be fast, no lie. But I want to be able to put some miles on it, man. I want it reliable. I want it to be able to cruise. I want to be able to go travel long distances, go down, check out Route 66 and do all that stuff that, you know, old cars do that are running good. So I haven't really tore a motor down probably, especially down this far, maybe in 15 years, 20 years. And then when I did do it, I wasn't doing it on my own. I had a lot of people around me helping me. So really, this will be the first motor I'm really doing on my own, solo dolo. And I'm just gonna tear it down real slow, take my time, try not to mess anything up. And the goal is to bust this motor down as good as I can with the tools I got, get it, you know, somewhat cleaned up, and then take it to the machine shop and have them check it out and I'll figure out what my next steps is going to be beyond that, whether I'm going to punch it out or what the deal is. So I tore this motor out of my ElCamino. I mean, it's been so long since me and my brother pulled this motor out of my ElCamino. I do have a video on YouTube. At the end of this video, there in the boxes, there'll be like 3 boxes. In one box, I'll put my playlist of the ElCamino, and in the second box, I'll put the actual video of us pulling the motor out. YouTube done hit me up for a lot of copyright infringement stuff, so I'm not sure if that video is blocked or not. But hey, maybe it's still on there. I have to go back and see. Here we go, people. My last small block Chevy 350 build ever begins now. I'm out here tinkering, just tinkering, with this old Chevy 350. Never mind the garage, it's a hot mess right now, but that's okay. One of my goals for 2020, I'm not going to call it a resolution, I'm just going to say as a goal, is to try to keep the progress going on these never-ending, seem like car projects I got over here. This is the Chevy 350 out of my 1977 ElCamino. I pulled it out. You've seen the video of us getting the tranny off, getting it on the stand, and that was the end of it. I got the intake off of it, and I'm going to start breaking it down and cleaning it up and taking it somewhere to some machine shop and have it gone through. So, all right, people, ain't much going on. Just give you a quick little update, nothing major. I'm just going to keep tearing this down. Today's Saturday. I've been working on it off and on a little bit. So I'm just going to keep tearing this down. Maybe tomorrow I'll flip it over. I'll probably take a few more bolts off of it. But right now it's just disassembly mode. So all right, people. Just out here tinkering in the old garage. 2020. Let's get this party started, man. Let's keep these updates rolling. Okay. Well, it's Sunday. Back on it. Did a little bit more. Got both cylinder heads off. And shockingly enough, only broke one bolt off. I'm going to leave that there for now, because that's not bad in the grand scheme of things. And there's a little nub on there, so I'll leave that project for a different day. I want to get it all apart. I want to see how I can get this apart without breaking any more bolts off in the block. So I'm not going to play around with that, but I got the cylinder heads off. There you have it. Got the intake off, got the cylinder heads off, got everything pulled. Now I'm kind of at a stopping point because 2 things are happening. One, I can't turn the motor because my bootleg motor stand is seized up and it won't turn. So we barely got this in there, so I'm going to have to figure out, I'm going to have to, put this back on the cherry picker, take this block off of here and figure out why this damn thing ain't turning and fix that for sure. And the next, so I can't turn, I can't do nothing underneath it. The next order of business is I don't have a harmonic balancer puller. I don't have a tool. I have a steering wheel puller, but I'm not going to play around with that. Honestly, I think I'm going to just go to Harbor Freight and get one. I looked them up online because I'm not trying to install the harmonic balancer right now, so I don't really need a good one. I just need something to pull it off. Okay, I'm back in action. I needed something to pull that harmonic balancer, and this is what I got. Just got back from the Harbor Freight. Yes, I got a Harbor Freight tool, so we're going to see how it works. I started to order one, and I looked them up online, but hey, I figured for the price of this, before I spend $100 online and then wait who knows how long for it to come in, let me just go ahead and try this out. If it don't work, then I'll just have to go get a better one. But let me use this now. Open this up and use it, and I'll let you know how it does. We are back in motion. As you see, I got the harmonic balancer off. I got to speak on something, and I've said it before in multiple videos in the past. Harbor Freight for the win. I have to speak on Harbor Freight for the win. This is the puller. It had everything I need inside to get that harmonic balancer off. This is the kit here. It's got all this extra stuff in here, which I probably use again one day. But even if I don't, it's cool to have, because at the end of the day, I looked this piece up online, the harmonic balancer puller, and people wanted anywhere from $100 to $200 for this tool. Now that's cool if you're going to be pulling, buying expensive tools. Cool if you're going to be using it every day. You're going to be pulling harmonic balancers every day. You're going to be building motors for a living. But I'm not. For the measly price of $17, hell, I spent more than $17 buying pizza. So for the measly price of $17, I got a tool that worked great for what I was trying to do. And it's still good. I'm sure I'll use it again in the future. Man, I mean, how can you really go wrong for $17? Now, granted, I'm just out here tinkering. I don't build motors for a living. If I built motors for a living, there's no way I would be buying a $17 toolkit I'm going to be using every day. But for the weekend warrior, for the guy that needs it just a few times, I don't even know. I think it costs more than $17 to rent the tool from the parts store. So why not, It might be $15 to rent it or something like that, but why rent a good one, a so-called good one, when I can just buy this one for $17 hot and be back in the game? Anyway, that's all I'm going to speak on that. But, oh yeah, I will say one thing I did have to do to the tool, though. I didn't have to, but it made me feel a lot better, is I did put a little oil on this thread right here. I oiled it down. If you got some WD-40 or whatever, use that. I had motorcycle chain lube, because that's what I had laying around on the shelf real quick. That's the first thing I saw to grab. So I put some of that on there. On this, squirt a little bit on there, just because it was kind of stiff. Loosened it up a little bit. And man, it did what it was supposed to do. And no problem. Alright, so now I'm going to continue on with this. Next up will probably be the timing chain cover. So let's pop that greasy timing chain cover off and see what's behind door number 1. Alright, people.